Hey, brothers and sisters. Today is September 8th, 2024. Just want to share some things with you guys. So, last night before I went to sleep, I was asking the Lord to show me something that would encourage the church because, everybody's really tired and we just want to be with Him, and a lot of people are, we're tired. And I know that the church needs to be encouraged, and the sheep need to be fed. So, I was telling him this and asking him, and I'm going to share with you in a minute the dream he gave me that I'm supposed to share with you guys. At first, I wanted to read parts of this article here, which I shared parts of it the other day in a video I did. But this is all about the Galilean wedding, this article. Jesus and his disciples were Galilean Jews. This meant that many of the parables, sayings, and customs that Jesus spoke to his disciples would have to have Galilean roots. One of the main topics of parables involved a wedding. A Galilean wedding was a special thing. Jesus specifically used Galilean wedding symbolism in parables and end times discussions. The cup of joy. Witnesses were gathered before a Galilean wedding while an agreement was read aloud. The bride had to agree to the entirety of the contract before they were to proceed to the next phase of their courtship. The groom would hand his bride a cup of wine at this point. This was done after the exchange of gifts, which were costly. At this moment, in front of witnesses, the bride would either reject or accept his proposal. If she accepted, she would drink from the cup of joy, which was set in motion, a series of events that both the bride and groom would do to prepare for the wedding. This custom was unique in Galilee, as it was not seen, the bride having a choice in surrounding cultures. After she drank, the groom would seal the covenant by saying, "You are now consecrated to me by the laws of Moses, and I will not drink from this cup again until I drink it with you in my Father's house." Sound familiar? It should, as Christians have heard this many times before. So remember this right here. The cup of wine. The groom would purchase costly materials to build on his father's house. The groom and groomsmen would not know the day or the time he would be allowed to collect his bride, but only the groom's father would know and tell him. The bride would buy quality garments and prepare for when her groom would come and collect her, usually in the middle of the night. She was to be ready as well as her bridesmaids. For close to a year, the bride and groom would wait with their bridesmaids, groomsmen, and guests for the father to say to his son, "Go, collect your bride." Then he took the cup and gave thanks and gave it to them, saying, "Drink from it, all of you, for this is my blood of the new covenant, which is shed for many for the remission of sins. But I say to you, I will not drink of this fruit of the vine from now on until that day when I drink it new with you in my Father's kingdom." This cup of joy was to mark the acceptance of not only the disciples to marry the groom, Jesus, but all of us. The marriage of the groom to his bride was sealed with a covenant. Remember that, covenant. And Jesus said what was said at every Galilean wedding: "I will not drink of this fruit of the vine from now and until the day when I drink it new with you in my Father's house." The price, costly gifts before the cup of joy, was the shedding of Jesus' blood at the cross to buy back his bride from Satan. The disciples understood what Jesus meant because they were all Galileans. They understood, as we should, that the new covenant was not the casting off of the Jews, but a seal between husband and wife with a promise to later return to collect his bride. After the cup of joy, the bride and groom go their separate ways to prepare for the wedding. The groom adds to his father's house an area where they will live. The bride spends a great deal of time and cost gathering cloth to make her wedding gown. Fast forward to about a year after the agreement, everything is in place. The addition has been finished. Remember that. The addition has been finished, and the bridal gown has been made. Now both parties, including the guests, await the groom's father. The father is the one who has the final say to the groom whether or not things are finished. During this period, the groom, groomsmen, bride, and bridesmaids and guests have everything ready to go at a moment's notice. This means that the couple even sleeps in their wedding clothes. Finally, the father looks around, looks at his son, and says, "Go get your bride." The groom and company will get the notice around the early morning hours, usually around midnight. They walk through the Galilean town, sounding the horn to wake up the bride, company, and guests. The bride and company have their lamps prepared, trimmed, with enough oil to see their way to the awaiting groom. When the groom sees her waiting for him, she is lifted and seated on a chair, where she is carried away to the father's house. Flying to the father's house was the saying. Once they arrive, along with the prepared guests, they have the wedding feast, which lasts 7 days and nights. Once the door is closed, no one can come in or out until the feast is completed. And I'll attach this article below in the description box of this video. So, I have shared this in a video a few days ago. This is from September. Oops, that's the wrong one. Hold on. This is from August 26th of 2024. This is actually a vision. And I saw a bride in a white wedding dress with people surrounding her, all smiling. Then I saw her being lifted up into the air in a chair, really high. She was smiling and laughing, and so were the people. That's what they do at a Galilean wedding. Okay? I also, really quick, I wanted to share, hold on. This is from April 29th of 2023. I had a dream that I was holding a ceramic-looking container full of oil up high towards the sky. This is from May 14th of 2024. Saw a golden colored liquid being poured from above, like from the sky, into a gold chalice. I knew it was mead made with honey. It's a wine that's made with honey. September 3rd, 2024, I heard upon awakening in the spirit, everlasting covenant. And this is the dream that I had this morning, right before I woke up. I was watching a group of construction workers do their final touches to our dream house. Now, remember, I was asking the Lord last night to please give me something for the church to encourage and edify the church. I was watching a group of construction workers do their final touches to our dream house. It was on a beautiful lake They even decorated the inside, and I couldn't believe how they knew everything I would like. Then it was all done and ready, and I was jumping up and down because I was so happy. I knew it was time to move in. Then I saw a big movie screen being pulled down from the bedroom wall. And on the screen, I saw a wedding that was about to take place. And there were clear white veils everywhere. So all these things he's recently been showing me is all about a Galilean wedding. Everlasting covenant. The dream of the bride being lifted up in the air in a chair. People smiling and laughing. A cup of joy. A ceramic container full of oil holding it up to the sky. It's what the bride would do. John 14, 1 through 4. Let not your heart be troubled. Ye believe in God, believe also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there ye may be also. And whither I go, ye know, and the way ye know. I also wanted to share this dream. I've shared it before a long time ago. But in this dream, I was looking in my backyard, and I have a whole bunch of garden beds out there. And Robert Breaker, Pastor Robert Breaker, was standing in front of this one particular garden bed. And he was pointing at that particular garden bed, like the stuff growing in it. And then he looked at me very seriously, and then he pointed to the eastern sky. And that was it. That was the whole dream. And I didn't really understand what it meant for a while. And come to find out, this was a few weeks ago, I was talking to Brother Paul on the phone, and we were talking about that dream and what it could mean. And I found out his online church is called Cloud Church. So he was pointing to the stuff growing in this particular garden bed. And then he's pointing at the eastern sky. And his church is called Cloud Church. So I believe the message is, whenever everything is growing really well in this garden bed, which is currently this picture I'm showing you, this is my okra. I have a lot of okra in that garden. It's growing like crazy right now. I believe that the Lord is saying it's harvest time for the church, and the church is about to go up in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. And the places that he's prepared for us are ready. They're finished. And the wedding is about to take place. So this is what he gave me when I asked him for something that would encourage the church. Guys, Jesus is about to come for us, and he's going to come just in time. He loves us, and he wants us to know that he's coming. He's even more excited than we are to be with us. So look up in joy. because we're about to be standing before the King of Kings and Lord of Lords forever in complete joy that no one could ever take from us again. So don't let your hearts be troubled, just like Jesus said, because he is coming back any moment now, and he wants us to know that. All right, you guys, I love you. Hold fast.